What's up, guys? It's Camuel shoutcasting another StarCraft 2 replay. We got a big time game here for you. We have the GOSU Cup Finals, the Invitational, between WhiteRa here as the green Protoss, and in the top right we have MardoW as the blue Zerg. This is the finals. MardoW did take Game 1 and Game 2. WhiteRa did take Game 3 to push it to a Game 4. So we'll have to see if it does make it to a Game 5. But MardoW is up 2-1, so I'd like to see his continued play of aggressiveness that he had in Game 1 and Game 2 to beat WhiteRa. He really kept him on his heels and didn't really allow WhiteRa to take any kind of mid control as well as map control. MardoW gained both and easily won both Game 1 and 2, and WhiteRa did some really tricky things in Game 3 to win that one. So I don't think MardoW will fall for those tricks again. So we'll have to see what he can do to really win this game. So they're both going to go ahead and get their scouts in. WhiteRa's going to make sure that there's nothing going on up here yet, as we probably will see a spawning pool quite shortly. He's probably going to build up his 200 minerals and get a spawning pool. This is an interesting game. I watched a little bit of it just to make sure it was worthy of a shoutcast, and it will definitely be something interesting to watch. So we'll have to see how it pans out. But again, it looks like MardoW here is going to go for his scout to see if he has WhiteRa has maybe a pylon and gateway up in the back or something interesting. But it'll be interesting to see. This is on Blistering Sands. I've said numerous times on Lost Temple that I like to see fast expands, and this is also one of those maps where I really think you can do something like a fast expand as Protoss or Terran, simply for the fact because there's a massive choke point right here. It's so small that you can throw in a couple things right here to really wall it off. And as we're going to see, it looks like that's exactly what WhiteRa's plan is. He drops one pylon, and the next thing he builds is a Nexus. So it's pretty quick here, and then he's also going to drop a Forge. So like I said here, he's going to probably try to wall this off, maybe throw in a photon cannon over here for the simple fact that he can wall this off. One photon cannon will be plenty of defense because there's only one other way into his base, which is the destructible rocks right here. And he's got the high grass. So sometimes enemies can sneak in here and take this out. So it looks like WhiteRa knows that, obviously, and he's going to put a pylon here just so he can know if anything of the destructible rocks is going awry and if MardoW's trying to sneak in here. So it looks like MardoW's going to go for his expansion as well. And it looks like, let's see what we have, about a 15 pool right now, so that's not too bad. So he's going to go ahead and start pumping out the gas, so he does have a spawning pool up. So it'll be interesting to see if he continues with his Zergling and Roaches like he did in Game 1 and Game 2, or if he goes ahead and switch to maybe a different tech like Hydras, or maybe Mutas or something like that. So we'll have to take a look at that. And he did sense a little something here, so with that pylon, he saw MardoW trying to go for these destructible rocks. But unfortunately they have 2,000 life and just a few Zerglings here really don't do enough damage to get rid of the rock in time. And so he's just building one photon cannon, no reason to waste minerals. That'll be plenty of defense to destroy all these little Zerglings if they should stay, but I doubt they will. So again, he's got his Overlord here, MardoW, so he knows that WhiteRa's got a full expansion practically going up right now. I would assume gas is on the way. And just one photon cannon like I was talking about here for defense. That's all you really need. And so he's also got a Cybergenetics Corp here for WhiteRa, so he's definitely going to probably, only one gateway up. It's hard to tell at this point what his build is for offense. With two pylons up basically, or one pylon here, a photon cannon, and a Cybergenetics Core, and then a pylon, photon cannon, Forge, and a gateway. So it's interesting, WhiteRa maybe going for something tricky to maybe throw MardoW off his game, because MardoW definitely wasn't fooled in Game 1 and Game 2. He won those pretty easily. So I would like to see something maybe different out of WhiteRa to throw MardoW off his game to allow WhiteRa the opportunity to take this game, because obviously if MardoW wins, he's going to win the GOSU Cup. So MardoW knows that. He's going to play aggressive. There's no reason for him to stay back. When you're up on somebody, you want to beat him into the ground. You don't want to give him the opportunity to come back and beat you. Don't gain the advantage. So using this creep tumor, this is kind of a small map for 1v1, and there's a lot of area where if you can cover and creep, your units are going to be insanely quick. And you can go, and it looks like he's going for a sneaky expansion right here. He's got a hatchery going up already. We're only 7 minutes in the game. He's already got 2 expansions. I love that by MardoW. He's a very aggressive player. He's a Demaga-S type player. He likes to cover the map with his Zerg play. He's got a few Zerglings here. And obviously not going to do much. He's just keeping them there in case WhiteRa sends out any kind of Zealots. But as we can see, he hasn't even built 1 Zealot yet. He's actually got 2 Stalkers. So that's all his defense is. But, I mean, we really don't need a lot of defense at this point. So it looks like he's just going for Stalkers at the moment, just to kind of maybe take some of these Overlords out so he can maybe try to get a sneaky build in. That's actually kind of a good play by WhiteRa. Get rid of these Overlords. Allow complete no visual of the base so he can drop maybe like a Templar Archives or some Dark Templars or something like that that will throw off MardoW's game. But it looks like he's going to start pumping out those gateways now. That was obviously, we knew that was coming, but it looks like now is the time where he's going to start pumping out gateways, as MardoW has no visual in the WhiteRa's base at the moment. And so he does have the Twilight Council going up, and he is training Blink. That's interesting. So he's obviously going to go with some kind of big-time Stalker build, as he's obviously training Blink over Charge. So that's interesting to see. I wouldn't see a lot of Zealots coming, because without Charge, Roaches and Hydras or Zerglings are easily going to be able to destroy Zealots very simply. So it'll be interesting with the Blink. He's planning on trying to go maybe mass Stalkers and throwing in a couple High Templars or something. We'll have to take a look at that. So now he's going straight up all gateways. He's got a bunch of gateways going up. Oh, and he does have a Templar Archives coming up. So looks like he's going to go for some High Templars. That'll be interesting to see here. And out of his forge, he is also getting an upgrade for his ground weapons. Smart play there. So he's mostly going to go for Stalkers, and he feels like he's got maybe an advantage here. He's going to try to go for a push. He does have the Blink, remember, so he can probably kite a lot of these Roaches on this creep. Yes, they're faster, but with Blink, he'll be able to get out of there. So he just goes in and kills 1 Overlord. Doesn't really matter. He has supply basically locked at this point. He's tight on supply, but it doesn't really matter. Overlords are pretty quick at this point. And finally, WhiteRa sees this little expansion. He feels this is the time to take it. So he's blinking around. He got rid of all those drones. I would have liked him to save Blink, because this is one instance now where these Zerglings are going to surround these Stalkers. So he loses 2 Stalkers instantly for maybe only 3 or 4 Zerglings. And that's an easy exchange there for MardoW. He will do that all day long. And if he would have had the Blink up, he could have blinked those Stalkers out of there and saved them. But he used it to destroy some of the drones. That was kind of a bad mistake there. So unfortunately, MardoW's now easily saved this expansion. He's going to start pumping out some more drones to get the minerals back from that. Don't see a lot coming now. He's also going to get the upgrade for his ground armor. Very smart there. So obviously we know he's going to be training Psionic Storm. I'd like to get that Kadaran Amulet. It's so crucial when you warp in High Templars to use that Psionic Storm instantly. So at this point, MardoW, I would say, has map control. He's got, obviously, middle here. He's practically in WhiteRa's base. As well, he's got this expansion right next to him, and WhiteRa can do nothing to stop this expansion. And his natural is obviously full forge going right now. He's just pumping out minerals here. And his main is pretty much solid. There's obviously no harass to his main right now. He's got 2 evolution chambers up, getting that missile attack there for his ranged units. And he is getting that Kadaran Amulet. Very smart here to get that. It works so well, especially on High Templars. So that way, right when you warp him in, boom, Psionic Storm is up. So we are going to see, it looks like maybe a battle here. WhiteRa can allow MardoW just to sit outside his base all day long. MardoW will drain him dry with clearly MardoW's map control here. So WhiteRa needs to push out. He needs to get control of this middle. So we see Psionic Storms coming in here. We got 1, we got 2, 3 Psionic Storms. And look how MardoW spread out his units. Very smart there. He can't just drop 1 Psionic Storm and hit all of his units. He had to drop 4 Psionic